A father cut off his own daughter's hands to save himself from the devil, and she let him do it without a single word of protest. Years later, a king's own mother would try to have that same daughter burned alive for a child she never actually harmed. This is what the Brothers Grimm published in 1812. This is grim and true. A poor miller met an old man in the forest who offered him great wealth in exchange for whatever stood behind his mill. The miller assumed it was only his apple tree and agreed at once. It was not the tree. It was his own daughter, sweeping the yard at that very moment, and the old man was the devil himself. 3 years later, once the miller had grown rich, the devil returned to collect what he was owed. This story was published by the Grimms in 1812 as tale number 31, and it belongs to a rare category in their collection, a story about suffering that ends not in rescue, but in the body itself being restored. The girl had grown into a young woman known for her quiet goodness, and when the devil came for her, he found he could not touch her. She had washed herself clean and drawn a circle of chalk around her own feet, and neither he nor his power could cross that line. Furious, the devil ordered the miller to take away all water in the house, so his daughter could never wash again. The miller obeyed, but she wept onto her own hands instead, and her tears washed them clean regardless. The devil gave one final order: "Cut off her hands, or I will take you instead." The miller, terrified for his own life, told his daughter what he had been commanded to do. She did not run. She held out both hands and let her father cut them from her body. Even then, she wept onto the bleeding stumps, and her tears cleansed them completely. The devil had lost his claim on her entirely, and he never returned again. Her father, now a wealthy man, begged her to stay and let him care for her in comfort for the rest of her days. She refused and walked out of that house alone, her arms wrapped in white cloth, choosing to wander rather than live on money paid for her own body. She wandered until hunger drove her into a walled royal garden at night, where she ate a single pear fallen from a tree, guided, it seemed, by something unseen. The king's gardener saw a pale, silent figure eating fruit with no hands at all, and reported it as a spirit. The king himself waited in the garden the following night, saw her for what she truly was, and fell in love with her on sight. He had silver hands crafted for her, and made her his queen. When the king was called away to war, she gave birth to their son. Messages describing the birth were sent to him, but the devil intercepted every letter along the road and replaced the truth with monstrous lies about the child. Then forged the reply in the king's own hand, ordering his wife and son to be put to death. The king's mother could not bring herself to do it. Instead, she sent the queen and her infant son away into the deep forest with a single note pinned to the child's clothes explaining everything. An angel led her to a small house in the woods, where she lived in hiding for 7 full years. In that time, through nothing but her own endurance and faith, her hands grew back onto her arms, whole and real. The king searched for his wife for years after learning of his mother's forged letters, refusing every comfort until he found the house in the forest and his family inside it, his son grown, his wife's hands restored by something no silver craftsman could have made. The Brothers Grimm gave this story an ending most of their darker tales never receive, genuine restoration rather than simple survival. Modern retellings almost always cut the mutilation from the story entirely, along with the years of wandering that follow it. But those details are what make the ending mean anything at all. This was never a story about the king saving a woman. It was a story about a woman who endured what was done to her and grew whole again on her own terms. This is Grim and True. If you want more of the real stories, subscribe. Next week, The Six Swans, the grim tale about a woman who stayed silent for 6 years to save her brothers and was nearly burned alive for a crime she never committed. Until then, stay in the dark.